Hi everyone, this is Dov Hershkovitz. I'm here with Nadia Sotnikova, our UX designer. And this is a Pipeline Authoring 14.5 kickoff video where we're going to talk about the scope of work and scope of UX for the upcoming iteration. To begin with, as always, we have a planning issue underneath the Pipeline Authoring project, issue number 27, where you can read through all the scope of work that we have, plus the discussions that we had with the entire team when planning this iteration. Of course, you can add your thoughts and comments there as well. To begin with, the goals of the milestone, we plan to balance between bugs and performance and feature work. The reasoning behind that is that in the last couple of iterations, we've been heavily focusing on performance improvement, some improvement to our error budget. And since we are in a good shape today, we can definitely start working on some feature work. But we do have some issues that we want to close. Primarily, we do want to improve even better our error budget. As variables were moved into the pipeline authoring, we noticed that the variable API does contribute significantly to the error budget. So although we are like in the okay zone, we want to even be better in case someone will decide to change the threshold. So one of those issues is to see if we can optimize the variable API. Secondly is a follow-up from a performance improvement that we've done to the, I think it was the pipeline page. So we actually started in the previous iteration, the pipeline page when there is a large number of high running number of jobs, the pipeline page is really slow. So in this issue, we were actually able to improve significantly the query, but we still didn't show the impact on the page itself. So this issue is like to close this problem and improve the GraphQL endpoint so users would be actually able to benefit from that improvement that we've made. And the effort is not that significant the way it is here too, so it makes sense to complete this work and fix that performance issue. Other than that, we do have some minor bug fixes. And as I mentioned, the next thing is to work on some feature work. And we do have some feature work that we wanted to wrap up as a part of the solution validation we've done in the pipeline graph. So it was a long time ago, so just as a reminder, when we released the job dependency view, this is the view that you see here, users were able to toggle between the stage base and the job dependency, and the job dependency ordered the job by the needs dependency. But the issue that we are actually seeing here is that when you order the job by the needs dependency, it doesn't take into consideration the stage name. So all the jobs without the need dependency appear on the left column. So it appears that all those jobs will run at the same time, where in reality, there are also stages that need to get into consideration. So if I look at stages, I can see that the sync stage is the first job, and then the prepared stage based on the job dependency. So we need to take those two into consideration. The feature work that we need to finalize is to make sure that when users are looking at job dependency, we will order the jobs both by the needs relationship and by the sequence of order based on the stage. So like in this view, the sync need to be on the left column, and after that, all the jobs based on the need dependency. And that's the work that we have for feature. There is some backend and some front-end work, and hopefully we'll be able to finalize this in this iteration. Now I'm going to hand it over to Nadia, and Nadia is going to talk about the scope of work for UX. Nadia, take it away.
All right, let me share my screen. Okay, so 14.5 is going to be very exciting in terms of UX improvements. So I'll be focusing on a handful of different issues First, I will continue running the solution validation for the pipeline editor. We're currently running a usability test to uncover further improvements in the pipeline editor to see if there are any bugs that we need to fix. We want to really polish the experience in the pipeline editor. We're planning some further improvements and features, and for us to be able to evolve the pipeline editor functionality, we also need to make sure that the UI is very easy to use and that it's really polished. So we will be running the interviews for that. Now, in terms of design, the issue that I'm most excited about is simulating pipeline creation in the pipeline editor. So currently, we offer the ability for you to simulate pipeline creation in the standalone CI lint. And this issue is around moving that functionality to the pipeline editor. So when you're working on your pipeline configuration, currently you can lint the configuration syntax in the pipeline editor, but you're not able to simulate pipeline creation, which means you can't really test any of the logic in your pipeline config. So if you have any rules in your pipeline, you wouldn't be able to ensure that it's accurate. So the simulation will allow you to simulate the creation of a pipeline for the default branch. And in the future, we'll be offering other execution contexts. So we're currently exploring the designs, and it might look a bit different from this, but this is just to illustrate what it might look like. So we're looking at creating a test tab in the pipeline editor where you would be able to lint or simulate your pipeline. And at first, it's going to be only for the default branch commit, but in the future, it might be also a feature branch commit or a scheduled pipeline. So you would be able to test your pipeline in all of these different contexts and ensure that everything is set up to work effectively and without any problems. So I will be doing design for that, and maybe I will have some time to get into solution validation for this as well. Next, I will be working on our MVC for the pipeline editor file tree, which is also very, very exciting. And as an MVC, we're looking to surface a static list of links to all of your includes files. So when you have a pipeline configuration that is spread over multiple files, and then you include all of those separate files in your main GitLab CI YAML, you will see links to all of those files in a sidebar or like a file tree looking like section in the pipeline editor, and you will be able to open those in a new tab, and it makes it a bit easier to find all of your includes files and navigate to them. That will be the MVC iteration, and I will be polishing the designs further and running some solution validation for this proposal. And in the future, we want to evolve it into a more fully featured file tree, something similar to the file tree that we have in the Web IDE. And another exciting issue is allowing you to retry manual job with different variables. So there are several different problems that we're solving here. First, we want to surface the variables that are used in manual jobs. And we also want to make it easy for you to override those variables that are used by the manual job and retry the job with different variables if you want to troubleshoot some problems. So the idea here is that we will be adding a variables tab to the job page where you would be able to see the variables that are being used, and you would be able to override those variables and retry the job with new variables. So this can be a very powerful feature, making it much easier for you to troubleshoot any problems that you might have with your job. And this particular issue focuses on adding that for manual jobs only, but in the future we might consider adding that for all jobs as well. So this is still a design issue. The proposal is still a work in progress. So I will be moving this along and getting more feedback on it to get it ready for implementation. And aside from that, there's also some work that we will do around the pipeline graph. So I think this is also worth mentioning because it's been requested by many different users. So currently, in the pipeline graph, we crop the job names. So if you have a long job name, the job name will be truncated. And in some cases, it can be difficult to tell the jobs apart in case you, especially if you generate the jobs dynamically and the names are generated dynamically, many of the jobs might have similar names. So this issue is to explore a way for us to show the full name of the job and generally to make the pipeline graph easier to use, and especially for very large pipeline graphs. So yeah, as you can see, lots of very exciting work is happening around the pipeline editor usability, the pipeline graph, and some new features to help you validate your pipeline configuration. So yeah, very excited about this iteration.
Thanks, Nadia. Indeed, exciting work for the UX and what will come in the future for pipeline authoring. I think this is it. As always, if any of you has any questions, comment, or you can mention me or Nadia or any of the members of the team on this planning issue. Thanks, everyone, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.